I've been getting a lot of requests recently to share an updated self-tan routine, and since it's been several years since I last did that, I figured now was the perfect time. Because it's self-tan season, baby. So I actually am baking in my self-tanner right now. I obviously am going to show you guys my final result after all of this is rinsed off, but if you're wondering why I look like so extra dark, that's why. All right, we're gonna start off with all of the steps I take to prepare for self-tan application, and then after that, we'll jump into the actual application process where I'm walking through that with you real time. 1 to 2 days before I'm ready to apply self-tanner, I will use a body exfoliant, not only to exfoliate my skin and help to make it nice and soft and smooth for application, but also to make the removal process easier for any residual self-tan that I have from my last application. So if I'm okay with my tan fading a little bit more quickly than normal, then I will start to use this 2 days before my next application. Otherwise, I will at least always use it the day before. And this is the In Beauty Project Body Bright and Smooth 7% AHA plus BHA Body Serum. You can definitely just use this completely by itself, but if I'm applying it at night, I do like to layer a thicker moisturizing cream on top because it's a bit of a lighter weight lotion. Then in the last shower that I take before I plan to apply that self-tan, I will exfoliate my entire body. My current favorite body scrub is from Way. This is the Scalp and Body Scrub in their St. Bart's fragrance. It's perfect for summertime. It's just really yummy and tropical. So good. So I'll use that scrub all over my body, and then after that, I like to do a once over with an exfoliating glove. This is just a glove I found randomly on Amazon, but I think it's great. So of course I'll have this listed below along with everything else that I mentioned in this video. Oh, they also have a back version that I clearly have yet to open, but if you are somebody that tends to have tan left over on your back that you have a hard time getting off, this is a great way to easily get at that. Dang. Okay, I'm gonna start using this. That's so nice, because then you can just go around like this. I love how big this is. That is amazing. Where was I? Oh, aside from just lightly going over my body one time with the exfoliating glove, I'll make sure to really pay attention to areas where tan tends to, where tan tends to cling and overdevelop. So my elbows, my knees, my hands, feet, ankles, fingers, things like that, where you can see dark spots still hanging on for dear life. If I have any areas like that on my body, then I will go over that area with a glove and scrub a bit more aggressively, but I'm still not like trying to rub my skin raw. That's not the point of exfoliating. It's really just to get rid of your leftover tan from your last session. I actually just saw a TikTok where someone was saying if your skin is not red and raw after using the exfoliating glove, then you're doing it wrong. And I was like, I don't know that is the way to think about it. But I mean, do what works best for you. That's just what I do. After exfoliating, I will go ahead and shave. And I'm sure most of you don't care what I use to shave, but in case you do, I have to share this razor. I've talked about it before. I refuse to use any other razor. It's the Venus Gillette 5-blade razor. If you are using a 4-blade or God forbid 3-blade razor, please try this. Your life will be forever changed. It has to be this one where it has little conditioning strips. You just get such a closer shave with this razor. It seriously is the best ever. And I have just been using Skintimate Skin Therapy Shaving Gel forever. So I'll either use this one in the pink bottle that says it's for dry skin, or they have one that's in like a pale yellow bottle. I can't remember exactly what that one is supposed to be for, but those are my two favorites. Once I am done with that process and I'm ready to get out of the shower, I make sure to, number one, thoroughly dry my body so I don't have any areas that are a little bit damp still, because that's definitely going to affect how your tan ends up developing. And I also make sure to not apply any lotion except for my barrier cream. So if you are going to tan the day after your last shower and you put lotion on after that, it still is something that you're going to want to remove before tanning. Jump in the shower quick, do a quick body wash, make sure that all of that lotion is off so that you can get a nice even tan. Okay, now we are ready, I think, yes, for the tan process. Let me quickly show you my two favorite self-tanners. Where is the one that I just used? So the one you'll see me using in today's video is the Pita Jane Tanning Mousse, but one that I have also loved for a long time is the Bali Body 1 Hour Express, but leave this on for at least 4 hours. Don't just do 1 hour. But the reason why these are my current favorites is because I feel like they are the most natural looking deep tans that I have ever tried. And if you have been following me for a while, you know I have tried so many self-tanners. I am going going to list all of my self-tan showdowns in the description box below. I think I have 5 of them now. And in every single one of those showdowns, I compare a ton of different self-tanners to each other. I show you application, I show you how they develop. I talk about all of the important features of each tanner, like how long they last, how they fade, how they smell. I talk about the dry down, just everything you would need to know. So definitely check those videos out if you have been curious how certain self-tanners perform. I am sure I have reviewed it. So in saying that, out of all of the self-tanners that I have ever tested out, these are my 2 favorite. Bali Body does have a new tanner that I completely forgot that I purchased. It's their Express Tan in Ultra Dark. So in this black bottle here, I'm definitely going to test this out and I'll keep you guys posted on my thoughts. Wanted to share that in case that would be of interest to you, but I haven't tried it yet. So for now, I still think this is absolutely amazing. All right, let's jump into the application process. If you don't look like this on self-tan days, we can't be friends. All right, the final step in my prep process is to apply a barrier cream. I just showed you guys this in my last favorites video. I've been using it for a long time now and it is incredible. The best barrier cream I have ever tried for at-home self-tanning. The brand is S. Jolie. It's just something I randomly found on Amazon and decided to test it out on a whim, and I'm so glad that I did. So I am going to be applying a light layer of this to all of the areas that tan tends to cling to and overdevelop. So that means hands, fingers, feet, toes, elbows, and knees. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Why was that giving that? Okay, so for elbows, again, just a light layer, but I'm doing it like right on my elbow, and then this part right here. Same thing on this side. I should get like a little stool that I can stand up on so I can show you guys my knees and feet. Please hold. Got it. Now for knees. Can you guys see? I just cut my knee shaving, so sorry about that.
I cut my finger on my mom's wing. I hope I can still dance.
Okay, top of the knee, and then down here as well. I feel like this is a part that people often forget, but that's where tan tends to look really orange. I just tried to show you guys my feet by standing like that, and everyone would have seen right at my shorts. So let me like set up my phone. It's not gonna be the same quality, but just to show you guys my toesies, you're definitely gonna see some dogs running in the background. So I'm making sure to rub this on each of my toes and then lightly on the top of my feet. Make sure to get the sides, the base of my ankle, this little bone, and especially the Achilles. I cannot believe that I'm just putting my feet on the internet like this. That's how you know I've been doing this so long, that I have been desensitized to the internet. All right, other foot, toes. And then last but not least, of course, hands. So just taking a bit more and applying this all over, making sure to get in between my fingers. So I'll kind of go like that on whatever this is. And then also this part of the wrist. Don't tell me you have never had orange tan there. You're lying. Perfect. I'm gonna let that sit for about 5-ish minutes. I just wanna make sure that it's fully dried down. Otherwise it'll smear and the tan will not look good. You know, there's not a great way for me to do this and not feel like I'm completely naked on camera, as you can see, I'm sure. So I'm going to quickly show you how I do my back, because that's a question I've gotten a lot, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put a baggy t-shirt back on and we'll do the rest. The tan that I'll be using is the Peta Jane Tanning Mousse in Ultra Dark. This is something that I discovered about a year ago, and I literally just picked it up because I thought the packaging was cute. I had never heard of it before. So I was surprised when I was tagged in an Instagram story from the creator of this brand, whose name is Peta. I had no idea that she's actually a very well-known Dancing with the Stars pro. She has a huge following, and actually when she posted my self-tan showdown where I featured this and tagged me, both my sister and my best friend were like, oh my god, this is so cool, I love her. So anyway, just thought that was kind of funny because I had no idea who owned or created this brand, and I just ended up loving it immediately. Oh, you guys, I feel so naked. Oh, got that right on me. We're off to a great start. Okay, so I just have a couple pumps of this mousse on my mitt. Let's show you what I do. So I turn into a bit of a contortionist. I have to push on my arm to get that one spot in the middle of my back that's impossible to reach otherwise. Literally like this. So my arm will be reaching back here and I have to push on it like this to get all the way up there. The things that we do for beauty. See what I mean? And then I do that exact same thing on the other arm to just get an even spread. I really hope that you guys were able to see that. I don't have to do that the entire time I'm doing my upper back. It's really just to get at that one spot. Otherwise, I'm good to just do this, and then I'll also go like this. Take my arm like this. Okay. It's not comfortable, I'll say that. Okay, finished my back and then did my chest, my stomach, neck, all of this so that I can show you guys the rest. But while I was finishing my back, I realized there's like a couple other ways I alter my arms. So here are all of the ways that I adjust my arms while tanning my back to make sure I don't miss any spots. Okay, so you guys saw this one for upper back. This is so ridiculous. I'll also do this. So that's to just get at more of the middle. Then I have this one that I showed you guys where I'm tucking my arm like this, and then I can get like this, and that's all of them. Now I am ready to do the rest of my body. So let's do my arms. Oh, and the mitt I'm using is from Skinnerals, which is also something I randomly found on Amazon forever ago. I have tried so many different tanning mitts and none of them are as good as this. If I have the time and or the patience, I will use this self-tanning brush, which I also showed you in my last favorites video. This is absolutely incredible. It's from Isle of Paradise and it's also the best brush I've ever tried. I have tried so many brushes and I just have had issues with all of them. I don't know, like the way that the bristles are distributed, the type of bristles that are in the brush make a huge difference for how blended your tan looks. And nothing that I tried was good enough, definitely never better than the mitt until I tried this. You just get the smoothest, most seamless blend with it and it doesn't absorb all of the product that your mitt does. But it definitely takes quite a bit longer for me to use on my entire body than just the mitt. So if I don't have that extra time to just use the brush, then what I'll do is use my mitt to apply and then buff over it with the brush to smooth out any areas that would look a little bit not seamless. Patchy, splotchy, just not blended as good. So I'll do that today so that you guys can see both. That was a lot of moves. I'm gonna start this way. This smells so good. It reminds me of a perfume that I feel like I smelled when I was in high school from a store at the mall that I cannot remember the name of, but it's such a nostalgic scent. I love it. I really make sure to get like all the way up close to my armpit, like right before my actual armpit starts. Otherwise, it does not look nice. Okay, so now that that is laid down, I will use this to buff and blend. Just makes everything better. And because I have that barrier cream on my elbow, I do go over my elbow with color, but I just do so really, really lightly. And then I really make sure to buff that area out so that no extra product clings. Something that I found to be really helpful in getting a more natural looking tan is to not bring the color all the way up to the top of my wrist, instead stopping it like here, and then just taking a brush and blending that the rest of the way so that there's not quite as much color at the very top where again, it can get oversaturated. I just think it makes it look a lot more natural. Make sure that you're going over these areas too. Those are areas people often forget to blend. We will do hands at the end. I'll do my other arm first. The order that I apply tan to certain body parts is actually very intentional. I have found that this order that I follow helps to make sure that I'm not getting like any unnecessary creases or patches as I work on the rest of my body. So I do back first, then my chest and stomach, then my neck. When I'm doing my neck, I make sure to get color all the way up back here behind my ear. Otherwise, that can be a dead giveaway that you have a fake tan on. Then I will usually do my legs, then arms, then feet, then hands. But the order that you apply to your legs and arms doesn't really matter. You just want to make sure that you're doing your back first because as you saw, I was like pushing on my arms a ton, so that obviously is going to mess up the tan. You could also follow the technique that I explained for my wrist with your elbow too. So stopping color around the perimeter and then just using a brush to blend. I'm just feeling lazy today. Let's take the brush, blend here, pull that color and blend all over my arm. See how that's like kind of uneven? This is just gonna smooth everything out. This is a lot harder than I thought it would be to show you all of the exact angles on camera. Like I said, I turn into a contortionist for my tanning routine. Ugh. Time for legs. Look at the legs.
Look at the legs.
I'm trying my best to not show you up my shorts. If I am failing at that, I will have to do some editing. Well, I won't have to. My sister Emily will have to. Sorry, sister. Same thing with the knees, just really lightly going over it with color or using that perimeter buffing technique. And I like to make sure to like bend my knee, my elbows, anything like that to make sure that the tan is spread as evenly over that area as possible and that that isn't what exposes the tan. Other leg. And then same thing here, I'm gonna take this Isle of Paradise brush and buff everywhere. Okay, now that I'm ready to do my hands and feet, I actually will pull my exfoliating glove back out because if there are any areas, like see right here, where I accidentally got tan, this is what removes it the best. See, I got some on my knuckles here, so I will just run this glove over. I have found that this works way better for me than just washing my hands. I don't know, something about our fingers and knuckles. It literally just clings so hard. I gotta scrub to get it off. Okay, now I'm gonna want to reapply barrier cream to those areas because that obviously was removed in this process too. But see, now it's off my knuckles. Okay, this hand's good. This is also something that I'll use if, for example, if there's a spot on my knee, like kind of like here, where I feel like it just turned out a little bit too dark. I'll remove some of it. And I didn't re-wet this. It's just kind of like residually damp from, oh, I almost just knocked everything off my table. It's just like leftover damp from when I showered. And then I'm gonna buff over this with the brush. If I need to pick up a little bit more product, I will. All right, I just took all of that off. I didn't like the way it was looking at me. This is just as real as it gets. Sometimes things don't turn out perfectly, so I will adjust as I go. Okay, so I just removed all that. I'm putting barrier cream back over it. Gonna let that dry while we address the other knee. This one turned out a lot better. So here, I don't feel the need to remove any of this with my glove, but right here, it's just a little bit darker than I would like it to be, so I'm going to take a dry paper towel to buff that excess off. And you'll see on my paper towel how it comes off, and everything that's on the paper towel would have just gotten too dark in that area. Okay, we'll do a once over with the brush. See? Okay, now that this side has dried, I am just picking up my mitt, which still has some product on it, and applying over that. I look insane. All right, let me show you how I apply tan to my hands and feet. I've seen a lot of people say that they just like to take whatever's left over on their mitt and use that for their hands and feet. That is something that I used to do, and I feel like it always made my hands and feet look way too orange. So I've been playing around with different application techniques for a while now, and I finally found one that gives me the perfect result. So what I am going to do is take a very small amount of tan and apply that to the mitt, but I'm not going to use the mitt to apply directly to my hands and feet. I'll show you. So we'll do like this. Then I'm going to press the mitt together just to spread that product out. And then obviously a lot of that is absorbing into the mitt. So what's left over on the top of the mitt, I am going to pick up with this brush. Then I am going to start lightly applying this to my hands and fingers. While I am doing my fingers, I will bend them, kind of move them at weird angles to make sure that I am getting into every nook and cranny. And I make sure to get the sides of my fingers as well. When I'm done applying this, you'll see that the color looks quite a bit lighter than the rest of my arms, and that is intentional. I have found that if my hands look as dark as my arms after I've applied them, they are always going to end up looking orange. And then make sure to also spread your fingers out like this so you can get in between. You can always add more tan to your hands if you need, but one once you've applied too much, there's nothing else you can do but remove it with an exfoliating glove and start over. Okay, so there you can see that all looks lighter than this. Again, that's what we want. But we're not done. We're gonna do the same thing that I showed you on my knee. I'm pretty much doing this every time that I tan now. I'm not rubbing back and forth really hard. That's not the goal. It's just to lightly go over every single finger, the top of my hands, also this area on the back of your wrist. And again, it will pick up any excess. I don't have a lot of excess to be picked up because I apply such little product intentionally, but even still, like I can see that there and I'm like, I don't want orange. I'll even grip my hand into a fist like that, rub my knuckles over it. I'm telling you guys, it's these little things that make the biggest difference in your final result. Okay, let's do my other hand. Tiny bit of product. That's good. Rub together and let's go in and buff. Even if I'm using a mitt on the rest of my body, I always use a brush on my hands and feet. The mitt is just going to apply too much product. It's not going to look as seamless. I just feel like it's so much more difficult to get a natural looking result in these areas when you use a mitt. And again, I also think that I get the best result when I just use this all over my body and don't use my mitt at all. But I do not always have time for that. Today I don't, and I thought it would be helpful to show you both anyway. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing. So fist, go over my knuckles, tops of my hands. That's looking good. All right, now we're gonna do the exact same thing for my feet. So same tiny amount of product, squish the mitt, rub her on together, will ya? Why don't ya? Use the brush and get to blending. As you can see, I will also try to like pull my toes apart. Obviously, it's harder to do that with your toes than your fingers, but anything that I can to just get into those little crevices. I swear to God, if anyone watching this video tries to monetize my feet, I will haunt you in your sleep. Okay, tan is fully applied. Hands, feet, elbows, knees, buffed with a paper towel. Is there anything else I need to tell you? Oh, maybe that I have this on? That might be a good time to tell you, because obviously the longer you sit in your tan, the more you start to stink. So since discovering this, I always make sure to have it on. It is the Saltaire Serum Deodorant with 5% alpha hydroxy acids, plus a handful of other ingredients on top of those acids to help with sweat and odor even more. So this has witch hazel, niacinamide, and hydroxyxylitol. And yeah, that's why I love using it, because, I mean, the self-tan stink's inevitable. It is. All right, time for my least favorite part, which is to just bake in this for hours, but that means we're one step closer to my favorite part, which is having a fresh new tan. This is not how the tan ends up developing, because it is still developing on my skin as we speak. I'm filming this all out of order because I don't want to film the intro and outro at the end of the night when I rinse this off. So I'll just pop in some footage right here to show you guys what my tan looks like when it's fully developed. The amount of time that I let that tan develop on my body before rinsing just totally depends on what type of tanner I'm using. Because some of them, like the Bali Body 1 Hour Express, don't need to be left on as long, whereas others you do want to leave on for like that full 8-hour window to get the best results. So I will leave Pita Jane on anywhere between 6 and 8 hours, depending on what I am able to do that day. And then during that initial rinse, I'll just go ahead and use body wash because I cannot stand leaving that self-tan smell lingering on my body. But if you wanted your tan to be even darker and last even longer, you could wait to use body wash until the next morning. So like do a water-only rinse to get the color guide off, go to bed, let it develop further. I can't do that because not only does it smell, but then my skin feels tight and itchy and I hate that. So I'll just use my regular body wash in that shower with a loofah, and then after that I am ready to apply moisturizer. Super important to be using a moisturizer that really does a great job at moisturizing and locking in that moisture, because that is what is going to help to preserve your tan for as long as possible. So I always use my Cetaphil moisturizing cream when I'm trying to preserve my tan, especially when I am when I am applying lotion for the first time after that first shower. I will always use this. I do like to mix in a little bit of a scented lotion because this is fragrance free. So maybe I'll use Hemp's Birthday Cake or something from Philosophy. But this stuff is just the absolute best for self-tan longevity. I am telling you, you need it in your life. And after that, my self-tan routine is complete. So typically during this time of year, I'm self-tanning every single week until summer is over. I know that that's not for everybody, and I know that that's not something I have to do or anyone has to do. That's not what I'm saying at all. I just feel my best when I'm in shorts and tank tops with a little bit of a tan. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, especially because doing this prevents me from damaging my skin in the sun. So every day after that, I will use my Cetaphil moisturizing cream until I hit 1 to 2 days before I'm ready to apply tan again, and then I will make sure to throw in this body exfoliant. Yes! All right, that is it for my updated self-tan routine. I really hope that you found this helpful, and if there's anything that I talked about in this video that you're interested in purchasing, everything's going to be listed and linked in my description box below in order of mention. Let me know if you have any other questions or comments or thoughts on this video. I will be replying to your guys' comments after this video goes live. Super excited to chat with you guys. And if you did enjoy this video and would like to see more from me, please don't forget to give this a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, click on that notification bell, and send my channel to a friend. All of those things really help to support my channel, so they mean so much to me. Thank you for doing those things, and thank you for watching my videos. I love the freaking heck out of you guys. Make sure to stay tuned for my next one because that will be up in a few days, but until then, I hope you have a great few days.